usually if you have an organization running a project, right? It's their project. But I think something really exciting about the EmpowerHack Accelerator is that we bring expertise and organizations who bring their members and their skills to power forward projects, right? So it's really exciting. That's just something that you see. We challenge ourselves to do something that we call sustainable humanitarian design and technology. A question that we always ask ourselves is, why can't hacks build on hacks? There's so many talented, creative people in the room right now at every single hack, and it's really sad that sometimes those projects just become portfolio projects. So we really wanted to ask ourselves this question of, what does it take to design better, create more inclusive communities, not just have a women-led space, although I love women-led and women-only spaces, but to be able to create safe spaces to tackle some of the world's hardest problems, specifically gender-based challenges, right? But in terms of other ethos, so I know there's so many EmpowerHack members here, I don't want to share them. What's another EmpowerHack ethos that we have?
Collaboration?
Collaboration, not competition, I reckon, is probably.
Yeah. Ownership.
Ownership?
Yeah.
What else? We have something that I know we say on the partner team and the media team. Partnerazzi.
So partnerazzi is that everyone can be a partner, and they just don't know it yet. I'm from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, and coming to the first hack meant that I was inspired to include people that had no idea what coding really was. They were health experts, but they could be partners. And that's the same for Chayn and for, well, Chayn was there at the beginning, but Women Hack for Non-Profits and UX for Change, and you can all be partners, you just don't know it.
So hello everyone, I'm Sandra. I founded UX for Change, and one of the ideas was to, when I put this community together, I usually don't ask, are you a midweight or, senior designer, but it's more about getting everyone to have a chance to learn from each other, and making sure that there is easy access to new information, and especially so that it's applicable immediately. So not gonna get too hung up on this, but the framework where we work is I usually bring an expert that talks about something specific, and then we immediately tackle it so that everyone gets a chance to try it and get hands-on immediately. So I'm just very, very keen on bringing learning opportunities. So that's how we work.
So why EmpowerHack Health? The reason why we're really inspired to work on EmpowerHack Health is because everyone here has actually been working on some EmpowerHack and also /Chayn projects that are dealing with health. From the very first hackathon, we had 2 projects, HaBaby, which Sandra and myself have been working on, HerStory, raise your hands, you're representing HerStory, and then we'll be introducing soul medicine. So those came out from ideas from the first hack. We also realized, I know Lewis is here from TechFugees, yeah, somewhere. So TechFugees is also one of our partners, a huge global refugee tech organization. But something we realized in a lot of the hackathons for refugees is that we were missing a health track, right? Because it's actually one of the hardest things to tackle. You need a lot of specialist knowledge. And then so probably last year, we looked at each other and we're like, and I think we just announced it on Twitter, right? we just said we're hosting the world's first global humanitarian health hackathon in April. And we just committed ourselves to that, and it became a reality. So again, it's happened in Ghana, here, and we're moving to Amsterdam. We're really excited that you're a part of it. I'm going to pass it on to Hera, who will speak a little bit more.
So I'll tell you how it started. It started because 3 years ago is when the world realized that there was a great humanitarian need, and people tried to come together to solve it or to address it somehow. That meant working with refugees themselves, working with charities, citizens in host countries like Turkey, Jordan, Lebanon, Germany, France, coming together and figuring out how we can actually help those who need it and actually empower them to be the masters of their fate, because these are productive individuals who have led very full lives and have now just left a war zone and have left everything. To come to places where people don't want them to come, and that it's a very hostile environment. So the tech sector also rose up to that challenge. Lewis, again, from TechVGs is here, and a couple of us here have been involved in TechVGs. So Han and Kimmy, who is not here because she's at her brother's wedding at a game ranch in South Africa. How cool. So they
Wear collar.
yeah. We'll make sure she gets this laugh. So Han and Kimmy went to Chayn, the organization that I run, and a couple of us are here. Raise your hands. So we had done hackathons on refugee crisis before, but we weren't involved in TechVGs. And Han and Kimmy went, and they were really excited because that's when news started coming from the UN, who for a year or so, there were no reports about gender-based violence. All we heard about were, these are the amount of casualties that are happening, these are the kind of problems with sort of immediate trauma, like people's legs or, like infectious diseases. And they were really excited because they had heard that now the reports were coming out about women. The fact that there was problems because you're a woman, it makes you vulnerable in any country. And then imagine escaping a war zone, and then imagine coming to a country where it's completely new to you. So they went there thinking, yes, we're definitely going to be part of a team that looks at gender-based violence or problems that women face. And then out of 10 teams, only the one that they were in kind of looked at it. So they felt, well, we have to change this. Women's problems are being neglected. So that's how EmpowerHack started. And in our first hackathon, which was in November, we came up with 11 teams, and they were looking through those 3 verticals, which are, education to employment, gender-based violence, and of course, health. Yes? So the reason why we're doing this now is because for the past year, if you've been following news, there have been reports on how the need for access to healthcare is dire. It costs around $50 to go to a hospital in Turkey. And in Lebanon, private healthcare is the norm. It's really difficult for people who've left everything, have left jobs, to access it. In refugee camps, the ratios are really bad. In Europe, especially refugees who are along the route where they think they might get caught and be sent back, they don't like going to hospitals, of course, who would? So they have to find clinics that are run by NGOs, but even NGOs are having problem with it. Camille from Terres de Homes is here. Raise your hand again. She's going to be one of...
Budapest.
She came from Budapest. She's from an amazing organization, and you're going to hear from her tomorrow. And some of the challenges that you see written up there are actually from her organization. So Camille has first-hand experience of this, and she can talk about it, and she will talk about it tomorrow. So that's why EmpowerHack Health is happening. Because we realize, A, health is important, because if you're not healthy, how can you be a productive citizen of any country? Second, that it's not just about physical health, it's also about mental health. It's one of the most difficult things to tackle, and that's what we hope you will help us tackle tomorrow. And you'll hear from the projects that are looking at across mental health. And the third thing is that if somebody is to live their full life, be a productive member of their own family, of their community, and of the country that they're in, you need to make sure that they're not only are they healthy, but they also feel super inspired and integrated and needed in the communities that they're in. So that's what EmpowerHack Health is about, and I'm so happy that you guys are here. I'll introduce you to our 2 hosts. So we have Sandra, who you've heard from already. She runs UX for Change, which is a community of UX designers. For those of you who don't know what UX is, it is about user experience design, and Sandra can tell you about that. She's been one of our most active partners for EmpowerHack. I mean, all of us are volunteers. We've all got day jobs, some really boring, some really good. But, and Sandra's been really active in galvanizing the UX community for EmpowerHack.
She was willing to have an EmpowerHack meeting on her birthday.
There you go, there you go.
And then I got sick.
Introduction?
I am a dev by day and a UX superhero by night. I do a few things like in volunteering, like Code First Girls and Women Hack for Nonprofits and EmpowerHack, and I also co-founded Code in London. Well, yeah, and then
Oh my
and I got onto this project because I hosted a Skype call and I didn't know what I was doing. Hi, I'm Virginia. I came on to help with HerStory much later than the hackathon, maybe in January or so, just to help move it forward. So I've been serving as the PM to make sure that it comes to life. My background is in capacity building for nonprofits.
Do you want to tell everybody what HerStory is?
Oh, that would be helpful. So HerStory is, the concept behind it is it's in its sort of prototype phase still, so what it will be is not necessarily what it is today, but it's meant to be a safe place for women and girls to share their stories about their experiences along the migration route. As we all know, talking about your experience from a mental health perspective is the best way to deal with what you've been through, and so we've built a recipe on IFT, to make an anonymous way that people can contribute their stories through WhatsApp, SMS, or email, which will be moderated through Dropbox, trying to maintain some level of anonymity, translated and moderated for safety, and then posted into a closed Facebook group where members of the group can respond with messages of support, and so people don't feel like they're so alone in their experience.
Charlotte. I am a member of Chayn and an EmpowerHacker, and I'm going to introduce HaBaby and Soul Medicine. HaBaby here is represented by Han. Could you give us a bit about HaBaby?
It's pivoted. It is a project at the very first hack, and today its new incarnation is looking at addressing the 5 most life-threatening symptoms for pregnant women on the route, and improving communications between them and field workers. We have a lot of people ready to pilot it, actually, so it'll probably be happening sometime in the next probably like 4 to 6 months.
I'm very, very bad at everything related to digital in particular. So this is what brought me here. Basically, I'm doing what I love and at the same time what I'm very bad at. So I'm sure I will learn a lot from you.
Hey, I'm Dina. I'm from Syria and I'm doing data analysis, so it's basically all the numbers that you don't want to deal with. So I have to deal with for you and trying to explain it. I'm part of Chayn, and my journey with Chayn led me to EmpowerHack and to Soul Medicine, which is a platform that we want to launch by the weekend, and basically trying to help refugees in urban area, basically with symptoms of depression and anxiety, and provide them with motivating code and.
Well, there's lots of stickers on my laptop, so hopefully you can tell I'm a developer. So developer by day and by night and by weekend. I do love what I do, and being part of EmpowerHack has allowed me to learn a lot more around development, project management, design, UX, etc. And it's led into lots of other communities, like Women Hack for Non-Profits, Acorn Hack, which is, we've got Katrina in the back, it's a hackathon for teens and learning how to code. Code First Girls as well. So I've met a lot of people. I've even followed in Elizabeth's footsteps in trying to give presentations and workshops and so on. So that's been really good for me to do that. I'm quite nerdy, as you can probably tell. But yes, you don't have to be a developer to get involved, which is really important. I think that's one thing I just want to repeat again. We've got, as Martha said earlier on, she was in my team at the last hackathon, and she actually did the most pull requests, which is the contributions on GitHub, which you'll learn all about over the weekend, out of the entire hackathon. She'd never used it before. So she was, fixing all my English, and she was, just doing so many awesome things. All our notes, she was taking pictures, putting them into the system so we could all have them after the event rather than having bits of paper that someone's got at home. So contributions come in all different shapes and sizes. So definitely get involved, and hopefully you'll have fun and learn a lot. So Accelerator is. Shall I talk about So the Accelerator project is taking the projects that have been selected from the hackathon and moving them forward, and actually hopefully getting them into production, getting user feedback, getting proper UX in them, and so forth, getting the right skills that we need. And then FutureWeb is doing the more internal projects, so the website for EmpowerHack, doing the family hub, which will be members, projects we've got going, what skills people have and what skills people want to learn. So some people don't, some are not better code or do design or better present, and they want to get more practice, more skills and learn from people. So it's a kind of a two-way street. So that's what family's about. But I'll stop talking now, because otherwise I'll go on for hours.
Hello, my name's Jack. I'm by day I'm a front-end developer and accessibility advocate at Expedia. Been to a bunch of hackathons, then came to EmpowerHack and got totally hooked on it. It was probably by far the best hackathon I've ever been to, I reckon. It is, and these guys are all awesome. So yeah, from there I got more involved and helped to build the WearX Fund website, and then been helping out with this as and when I can. But it's you'll super enjoy yourselves, and I reckon you'll all get addicted as well, because it's a fantastic thing to be involved with.
So basically, when HerStory started in EmpowerHack, it was an idea to empower women by giving them the chance to talk about their stories and share it between each other. One of the things that, if you read the news, you will notice that there is not that much stories coming from the refugees and themselves. The stories are always coming from the journalists, coming from someone else. Another partner who's going and talk in their voice. And HerStory was an idea to go for women, give them a voice, to go and share their stories, and by sharing their stories, empower them, because they will have a chance to go and talk to their peers about the experience they had during the journey, all the challenges they've been through. During our research to prepare EmpowerHack, the first one we've noticed that is, so for example, the child marriage in Syria was 10%, and anxiety camp in 2014, if I'm not wrong, is increased to 18%. So it's quite huge numbers, and women who wanted to talk about their experience, how they had to choose to marry their daughters in early age to older man just because of economic reason, or just because they want to make sure they have a safety place that cannot provide it to them inside the camp. There is a lot of challenge talking about the safety inside the camp, gender-based violence that's happening inside the roads as well. So EmpowerHack, HerStory was like, yeah, let's give this woman a voice, give them a chance to talk about themselves, and let's try to help them to do that. And I think now it's happening in partnership with IntelliKey, and that's something you can talk more about it.